This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Zenova Group PLC have launched the Zenova ZS, an innovative ceiling-mounted sprinkler system certified to EN3-7 standards. Designed for 360-degree protection, the system utilizes a unique nozzle setup that disperses fluid both horizontally and vertically to cover larger areas. Joining us today is the head of IR for Zenova Group, Mike Friedman. Mike, thank you very much for your time. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Mark. Thanks for having me back.
It's good to be speaking to you. So let's talk about this new area that Zenova are heading down, a sort of sprinkler system, a very sort of old and well-established industry, I'd have thought. What's driven this launch into this sector?
Well, I think what investors would want to hear, Mark. It's customer-led. In particular, one multinational, at least the customer with a multinational property portfolio, has made a direct request. I think in his main country, there is a building reg that any building above 8 stories requires a multi-purpose sprinkler system, meaning, of course, that it puts out fires other than paper-based and therefore non-water-based systems. So ours contains, as you can well imagine, our industry-leading fluid that's in our extinguishers, and therefore covers a much wider range of fire types, including ones that are quite cutting edge at the moment.
Okay, so this was customer-led, asking for, as you say, a multi-type sprinkler system that doesn't exist on the market today.
Well, we're doing our competitive analysis. We know already that the two main fire types that are especially being targeted, which of course is lithium-ion, which is particularly important, say, for hotel rooms, and as we've discussed in the past, and grease fires, which now increasingly are required for kitchen areas within homes. We know our extinguisher that's one of the 8 or 9 fire types that we handle, that we've demonstrated, and we know our competitors can't match our efficacy rates and or our EN3 formal certification. In addition to the customer or the potential customer who came forward, which is we're quite excited about, we also demonstrated the sprinkler at one of our recent mass demonstrations in Palma, and there's some interest from an Austrian customer as well. So the product is being explained to the sales force fully. We have the brochures going out, and we expect a lot of uptake and subsequent orders.
And can you disclose the customer, or if you can't disclose the name, the industry that they're in?
Well, I think I did mention that it's a property group with properties across the globe. It won't. I don't think it'll be a name anyone necessarily will recognize, but it's substantial enough for us, that's for sure. And we hope and expect to close on it to some extent soon.
Soon, okay. And in terms of the USP of the sprinkler system that Zenova, have you developed it? Is it in development? What's the situation
it's a
with
fair
it?
question. I'm studying, or I'm being taught some of the finer points of the engineering at the moment. But we described it reasonably well in the release. There is a patent contained within the unit. That I think it's an overall patent that covers a sprinkler system that is able to be retrofit into an existing or to replace an existing water piping system. And so we're very excited about that. Obviously, it's more payoff. We're getting more payoff out of the reasonably substantial R&D spend that we've discussed quite a bit in the past 6 months to a year. at the group, something investors should be aware of as we perhaps start to monetize some of our, as a result, some of our industry leading capabilities. As well on the balance sheet, you should see a decline in R&D spend for a time, and maybe even, as we expect, an improvement in our cash position as the HMRC refunds some of the legacy R&D costs, maybe another thing that some investors aren't aware of. But this is an important product for us. We're already getting, aside from the two that I mentioned, we're already getting some very positive feedback, both internally from the sales force and from customers directly.
Okay, excellent. Well, it's good to hear it was customer-led. Of course, you're being driven then by demands from customers here, and you've said that you hope to be expecting to close the order soon. I know Thomas Melchior highlighted strong interest and feedback, and indeed was expecting initial orders soon. So, yeah, soon, that famous word, but we can wait and see how that indeed progresses. So you've effectively got a patent pending for a sprinkler system.
We have a patent. The patent is already awarded. It's not pending.
Right. You have a patent, awarded, to retrofit sprinkler system with an innovative nozzle, but also, of course, using the Zenova fluid.
That's right.
I mean, of course, Zenova are in a lot of fire protection systems, aren't you, as well as the insulation paint? But I mean, is the company's focus now going down that sort of real focus on fire protection, fire suppression, or are you still, going to pursue the paints and the insulation element as well?
Oh, no. We've made recent announcements on paint that we continue to progress. And obviously, this extends our brand in a way which is going to make my job easier. So I look forward to that as the sprinkler system gets some purchase in the industry and with some substantial customers. However, the most recent important news has come from the extinguisher side primarily. We are hopeful to follow up an announcement back in January where we had a preliminary order from a German customer who has since come back. I think that initial order was in our smaller FX500, has come back with a larger test order, but now in our larger canister in our largest, I should say, in the 9-liter. And we're hopeful of closing on a material order with them as well in the near future. So, the paints are absolutely central. Of course, if I didn't highlight it, we've been making a big deal about tightening regulations coming both from government and from insurance companies. Here's another example. This is a customer on the sprinkler system who's come to us clearly because of domestic regulations tightening on buildings above 8 stories. You're going to see that theme increasingly the rest of this year and into next year. Of course, on the continent, we have the big one in 2025 on the outlawing of forever chemicals, which is going to make our extinguisher systems somewhat inevitable. We'll be in the mix, but it won't be easy for our competitors to make empty claims at that point on that front. So we're expecting a lot more demand to come from customers who have perhaps put off a replacement cycle on both sides, both the extinguisher and the paint, for far too long, and it's going to become compulsory rather than voluntary.
Okay, so a big year for 2025 for players in this space. I mean, what's to come for the remainder of this year? When can investors expect to see some numbers?
Well, as I said, we're expecting to close on at least one material order before the end of this calendar year, and we'll have to consider our forecasting at that time.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for your time. As always, Mike Friedman, the head of IR for Zenova Group.
Pleasure again, Mark. Thanks a lot.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like, or a retweet. subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.